All right, so yeah, so she replaced the bottle. So I'm gonna have an even spray. So I divided my hair in 4 sections. I put spring water, conditioner, and shampoo in here, and I just shook it up. Now, usually I use Eco Gel for this, but I'm out of Eco Gel, so we got to use what we have, and it's going to be wet. So I'm going to use this Cantu Shea Butter Leave-In Conditioner. Now, I told y'all about how I don't like walking around like in the cornrows and shower caps. I don't like that. So if I have a man who likes, like, you know, my hair glam and stuff, I'd rather get a sew-in. I should say a sew-in. And I need to do a video on sew-ins, like, because I'm working on finessing the sew-in on my own head. See, I could do it on somebody else's head because I can watch, but to do my own head, I want to make sure, like, the thread and everything is tight. So next time I'm going to get some bundles, and we're going to try that on a video for real. We need to try that. But, yeah, I don't like walking around looking crazy. Like, when I have a man, I want to look good for my man 24/7, you know? I'm the queen. Like, I like to get my pajamas. I like to make sure the hair stay fixed. That's why I like sew-ins. So I usually spend a little extra on sew-ins. But now, you know, becoming an entrepreneur and buying, coming out my own pocket versus, going to work. A lot of these things I have to substitute. Like I could used to go buy a wig and get the wig done. Now I can just buy the wig and do it myself. So that's the same with the sew-in. I could go buy my own bundles, but I have to sew it in myself, just to save money. So I won't be spending money frivolously anyway. And then also if you want to keep your hair done, because, I'm the type of girl, I want to keep my stuff looking fixed, like tanked. So I would, and my hair grows every 2 weeks. So with sew-ins, you want to get it done every 2 weeks. So you just got to learn to do it yourself. But anyway, I said all that to say is, I don't, I'm not braiding it down underneath the wig. I'm going to twist my hair. I'm going to twist my hair. I'm twisting my hair, y'all. I'm twisting my hair. I like my little natural twist. The goal, though, is to get the twist flat enough to sit pretty under the wig. So that way when I'm taking my wig off, I have my natural twist. And as y'all seen me with my twist before, and everybody like, oh, you should dread. I don't want to dread my hair. My hair won't lock. Every time I've tried dreads in the past, my hair won't lock. But, I just figured the universe don't want me to lock my crown. So I use twists. I like twists because, like, they could stay a long time. They hold moisture. It protects the hair. And then, like, if I want to take the wig off, I could just have my natural twist because I got a pretty fast. So I could wear my little short twist and style it how I want, if I want to, walk around the house in my twist. I like my natural beauty. I do like my natural hair. I do like my natural hair. I love my natural hair. It's just, certain environments, though, I do like, I'll throw a wig on or put on braids and stuff. Like, I only do my twist, like, if I guess during the summer when I'm really heavy on my fitness journey, when I'm on my fitness stuff, it's convenient to have your natural hair or braids. Because I could just get up and go. I don't have to try to tame it or groom it. I could just get up and go, and you could sweat your twist out. And the great thing about twists, you could leave them in and just spray wash them. Like locks. For me, anyway, everybody has different texture hair. So, depending on your hair texture, you do got to take them twists out and rewash them. Because they fuzz up and stuff like that. But with my hair, my twists just coil and they look like locks, but they not locks. But that's what we going to do. That's what we doing. So, yeah, I like this because it's like an even spray. And my hair needed to be conditioned real bad anyway. You see how dry it is. I don't know if it's the braiding hair. That's why it was so dry. But, yeah. But, yeah, y'all see how thick and pretty my hair is. Now, I don't know. I got a lot of shrinkage. I don't know if it's shrinkage from the new growth or what, or just I need a press. And, like, I know y'all, I'm going to do... One day, I'm going to go get my hair pressed by a professional. I went to the Dominicans once. It was very pretty. They did a good job. But afterwards, I see how fried my hair was. Like, the heat was too much. So, I have an aunt. She's a hairdresser. And she presses my daughter's hair. but she has a system, like it's a system where she washes it and conditions it, heat protecting. It's not as harsh. And my baby hair is so healthy and long and pretty. Y'all got to see my daughter's hair. I'm trying to tell you. But that system seems like the only thing that doesn't damage our texture hair. So I have to I guess I'll just go to her and have her do it. But one day I'm gonna get it pressed, and then I'm gonna get extensions. But I want to try those infusions, but I'm skeptical on trying different things on my hair, because everybody's scalp is different, everybody's hair is different. I don't want nothing that's gonna take out my hair, but I was interested in the infusions because infusions blend with your natural hair, and they're better than clip-ins because you ain't got to keep doing them every day. You could just shake and go and press the front of your hair. Another thing, I told y'all, like, this, I'm real like Barbie for real. So I be thinking about the future when I get me a real good man. A man worth looking pretty for every day. These are the type of things that I want to incorporate in my lifestyle. But that's a powerful manifestation. So now I'm going to twist my hair. But while we twist my hair, we going to do the Top Model, America's Top Model, the docu-series on Netflix where they go dive behind the scenes and how the show started and all that. Oh my gosh, y'all got to watch it. Now, I had seen the preview, but I was in the middle of watching a Diddy documentary. I'm going to do a review on that, y'all. But I want to finish watching it. It's draining because there's so much turmoil and stuff. But I like the format of that Diddy documentary because it really teaches you the game and like going inside and behind the scenes of an actual mogul and the sacrifices you have to make. And sometimes people be your sacrifices. And that's another rant for another day. But I'm watching Tyra, the Top Model, behind the scenes or whatever, and they go and talk about how the show progressed, how it advanced, how the girls go talk about how they were portrayed, saying how the behind the scenes, the camera people be instigating stuff at their own expense and things like this. But here's my takeaway. The key thing I noticed now. I ain't knocking these girls because, it's like Tyra, it's like literally Tyra went in. Hold on, y'all. I got so many different things for my hair. I'm so used to using this Eco Gel, but since I'm out of Eco Gel, I got a substitute. So this is fortifying hair cream. This is castor oil. It's supposed to strengthen the hair and condition it. And y'all can see it kind of look fried. So I'm just putting some of this on it as I comb through it and get ready to twist it. But yeah, so okay, so it's like Tyra literally hunted a bunch of innocent girls for real. Like, these girls never been touched the entertainment business. A lot of these girls, you could tell, wasn't really fast or nothing. They were like girls they were 18 and stuff. A lot of the girls staying home with their parents and just needed a way to get out their neighborhoods because they was like in, like small honky-tonk towns, like small towns, country towns, stuff like that. So they really didn't know nothing. Now, the industry is a whole nother beast. Now, the world is one beast, but the industry is a whole nother beast. Now, my city is a big city. I'm from a big city. So I guess I got in the game early. Just going to school will put you in the game for real. Going to school will put you in the game. Because my school's off the chain. Like, I'm from a nice city. Like, my city rich for real. Like, I'm in Florida. I'm in Tampa, y'all. So I'm from a bigger city. Like, it's like, I'll be calling it Tampa like Hollywood of the South for real. It's like not quite Atlanta, because Atlanta is like the Hollywood of the South. Like that, when you say South, you think Southern, like soul food, South, like dirty South Atlanta. But I'm from, even though we further south, it's still more like it's just rich. It's just rich. It's like we got the water, we have the city, the views, and we got people from all nationalities and creeds. We buy all the ports. So it's like New York, but it's like I'll call it a tropical New York. That's what I feel like it is. But we more bougie. Like they bougie. Cause they like, you gotta have a little money to stay over in Tampa for real. You know, certain parts like in the city for real. Yeah. It's just Tampa's bougie. It's very bougie. It's like rich. I'm trying to describe it without exaggerating, but I'm just trying to tell y'all, like, they're privileged here. Like, they not poor. Like, our kids not poor. Even in the hood. Like, even in our projects and stuff, like, these children walking around here with $200 shoes. Like, it ain't nothing. Jewelry, clothes. Like, it's like a movie. Every time you walk out the door, it's a movie. That's why I be calling it Hollywood for real, because like they bougie. They bougie. They bougie. It's not southern. Like, you know, South, I think like South, like country. It ain't country. It's more, it's like suburban, rich, high class. Even the hood is that. It's even our projects, when we had projects, they tore down most of the project. All the projects got tore down actually. But they were always suburban, rich kids. The schools were nice. Even the schools in the hood, they were nice. Like our I want to say our taxes paying for the city. It's nice. It's a nice aesthetic. No matter what tax bracket you in, we have the aesthetics. But I said all that to say, we got the experience. Like you know, if you get somebody from Tampa and put them on Top Model, they wouldn't have been like them girls who Tyra had got. Tyra got them girls from the small ass, country ass towns, them nowhere places, the middle of nowhere, who don't have nothing. They don't have clubs, they don't have bars, they don't have restaurants, they don't have the aesthetics. So, like, Tampa is like an industry in itself. As far as you gotta know how to dress, you gotta know how to move. It's like for movers and shakers. You know, you gotta move fast. Them girls were real slow because they not from them type of cities. I said all that to say. Anyway, I'm going to tie all this together, y'all. I know y'all like, dang, why she going in depth? I got to give y'all the background, the reason why I reacted the way I reacted to this. Now, so the girls, you know, they all innocent or whatever. So, look, Sherry was co-signing. I was watching Sherry's show. This is what made me watch it, because I saw it on Sherry's show. I saw the preview, but I was in the middle of watching Diddy, so I didn't have time to stop and look. And I didn't know it was the documentary. I thought it was reruns. And I was like, oh, I gotta go watch these reruns. But I didn't know it was a documentary. And Sherry, I was watching Sherry's show, and she was giving her review, and she was talking about all the backlash that Tyra got from doing that show, and how the girls felt like they were mistreated and blah, blah, blah. And Sherry was giving her intake on, like, you know, being in the industry as a black woman, a woman of color, trying to take on the industry and tear down walls and open doors for other women of color. It's hard. You know, you can't, you know, not everybody gonna be satisfied. You know what I'm saying? You just got to do what you got to do to get us in there, which Tyra did. So anyway, I said all that to say, I'm tying in, because Sherry defended Tyra with passion, child. So I said, well, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this show. So so I had went and watched it, but I see what Sherry was talking about, because the stuff they was bickering over was petty. Like, they was crying over. Mind y'all, I'm a woman of color. And like I say, this city is like the industry that I'm in. So I've been there, done that, like dealing with the sexual harassment, rape, what else they put you through? Like the humiliation rituals. You know, the people running around with your videos and degrading you, you know, just to be relevant. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's like, that's why I say, coming from a city, that's why I call it Hollywood. You get a feel for the industry already. So I've been there, done that, and I've been doing this since I was a kid, because they groom you right out of high school to be ready for that shit. So these girls they from these small ass towns that don't have shit. These one horse towns. So like even though they're 18, 25 and stuff like that, they never experience like that kind of, it's like almost like a cult practice to humiliate you to get you in the door of the industry. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. So these girls feeling like they were humiliated and degraded for the expense of the show. But I want to tell y'all, the stuff that they were thinking is humiliation and degrading. And mind you, the show aired way back when, in the 90s, I think. In the 90s. I don't even know if it was out in the 2000s. I think this was in the 90s when Top Model came out. Or maybe early 2000s. Early 2000s. I remember I was a kid watching that. I was an adult. I wasn't in high school. I know that. I probably was a preteen or maybe younger. But either way, like like times have changed, but like at the same token, like it's like it was a traumatic experience for them because they're just now breaking into that industry. So they don't know game. They ain't had no game about themselves. Like they don't know nothing. Right? So like the stuff they were complaining about and crying about how they were depicted was like stuff that will, a girl from a regular city could skate through. And then times have changed too. Times have changed. That was back in the day. So the industry wasn't as available to everybody like it is now because we got social media now. They had social media back then. We had AOL, it was slow. And we had the little platform. So I don't know what their deal was. But watching it now that I'm older and I don't be in there doing that, like one girl, here, they had the one girl, Shandy. Now, Shandy, we all remember Shandy. Shandy from worked at Walgreens. She was like the they call her the ugly duckling. At least that's what they market her on the show. Like she was the ugly duckling that they turned to a swan or whatever. So she was doing her thing with the pictures, and they got a trip to Mulan. Mind you, you 18 years old from this country ass town or wherever she was from, this small town. She living with her nerdy boyfriend. She working at Walgreens. Her family don't really mess with her. So, and she was like a nerd, a geek all life. So something like that, because I know from experience, I was a geek in school, but I still got put up on game early. But that's because I'm from a rich city. So they teach you game in high school. You already know what time it is. So, but for her, you're not having family, nobody to groom her, nobody to look after her from this small town working at Walgreens, 18 years old, her and her geeky boyfriend. Like, she's a real geek. They made her the star of the show. And the bigger the star you is, the more humiliation you got to go through. Key. That's key. Y'all clock it. I'm going to tell y'all. I'm tired of seeing it because it was her and the other girl, Kenya. I'm going to tell y'all their stories. But Shandy, like, she had a chance at winning. I don't know. I think did Shandy win? I don't remember if she won that season or she was runner-up, but she made it to, like, the end. I know that. She was, like, the big deal of that show. And usually if they finna make you a winner or a runner-up, they're going to put you through the most hell because you got to be ready for the industry. So Tyra ain't do that girl no wrong. That Tyra helped that girl. She broke that girl in. She cracked the whip on her like a madam's supposed to do. She cracked the whip on them girls. So, like I said, I ain't see nothing wrong with what Tyra did. But, so anyway, so they go to Milan, right, in Italy. So you get a girl who does not have no money, working at Walgreens. Family don't want you. You ugly in the eyes of them people because, they ain't culture. They don't know what true, right, real beauty is. Like, beauty is your uniqueness. When the more unique, that's why I like Tyra, because she get unique girls and make them stars, because that's what make you beautiful, your uniqueness. When you're not a cookie cutter, that's how you get fame, when you look different from everybody else. But anyway, so they go to Milan, Italy. She's 18 years old. I'm just thinking of how I would be at 18 years old. Now, mind you, I was out here, and if you in college, you already know what time it is, right? So that's like a trip of a lifetime. So they working all day, right? So Tyra prepping them for the real business, like getting them to work. I liked that part of the show too. Tyra put them on. I don't know what them girls was complaining about because she really did her job. But they had to go out to the what is it called? Like, they like meet and greets, but they call it something else for models. When you got to go to the different people and drop off your portfolio and do your interviews and kind of get your brand out there. So they had little scooter boys who drove them everywhere, which was very convenient because I'm like, that's a beautiful experience for your first time in a foreign country. To have a driver, because that's my dream. I want to go out the country so bad, but I'm like, dang, I gotta try to translate to get around. She gave them everything on a package. So you got the driver, he taking her to all her little meet and greets. And then at the end, they go back to their little room or whatever, and they got all this food delivered. And one of the girls had the idea to invite the scooter boys to the house and have food and drinks, right? And the girl, Shandy, she was like, oh, well, I didn't eat all day. Mind you, Shandy is she's the star of the show. She got the best pictures. They love her in Italy because she got the look. She had that awkward, different look that they wanted. She was the star. she was the star, but she said all that changed, like her, she no longer wanted to do the show after this experience. But I'm gonna tell you, she weak though. She weak. Cause Tyra was really helping them girls. She was breaking them girls in. Now, this was on Shandy though. This had nothing to do with Tyra. Yo, this was on Shandy. So they bought the scooter boys. The Shandy was having a good time. She said she blamed it because she didn't really eat that day. But they had food. Like, they had catered in some good food. They had wine. They had a jacuzzi. So it was popping. Like, you could see the girl having a good ass time. She drunk, laid up with the boy. So her and the boy end up hunching. And I guess they catch it on TV or whatever. And Shandy was like, she felt like he took advantage of her and nobody stopped it. I said, girl, you went from the shower to the bedroom. And you was doing all that wild shit in the jacuzzi. And I'm like, why is she? And I'm like, girl, you in Milan, Italy, girl. 18 years old from the Walgreens to Italy. Photo shoot, like, and I aspiring model here, y'all. I paid for my, even my kids. Like, I was working on putting my kids in this industry for real. So I pay for photos. I know photo books, portfolios. Photos not cheap. They not cheap. So Tyra getting you professional photos from a professional photographer, professional portfolios, sending you to professional meetings on her dime. All you gotta do is sacrifice your personal space for a show for a couple months. That's all you doing. Basically, like, you gotta humiliate yourself, but in the end, like, you're in the middle of you humiliating yourself on TV, quote unquote, humiliating yourself, because humiliation is really what you make it. If you want to make it humiliation, that's what it's gonna be. But all you gotta do is sacrifice yourself for a few months. The cost to travel from your hometown to New York, you get a New York apartment, food, clothes, transportation, plus travel overseas to Italy. You know they don't pay for them passports. The flight there and back, the stay, that nice ass whatever that they was living in, and while they were there, the scooter boys, the meet and greets, like, just add all that up for a couple of months of them invading your privacy. This is how I'm thinking. This is my logic. This is my logic. All right, now y'all feel free to comment if y'all like, no, this is wrong, da 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 da. I think y'all really too sensitive, because I guess because like I said, I've been through these humiliation rituals, and I feel like that was nothing, because that was her choice to get drunk and lay up with that boy, because she was all laid up, hunching in the jacuzzi, having a good ass time. Respectfully, girl, you in Mulan, you worked all day, you worked your ass off all day going to these meet and greets. You work your ass off, and you in a whole nother country. It's time to celebrate. Let's pop bottles. Let's do it, girl. Get you some overseas D for real. Like, that's a good ass time. It's just like college girls. Like, if you you a college girl, you at a party, y'all hosting a party, you know y'all gonna get butt wild. Y'all gonna turn up. The only thing I feel like she was so upset about, other than the fact they was recording her in the shower, they said it was a rule though, like, they don't follow you in the bathroom unless somebody else in there with you. And they told them ahead of time, y'all gonna be recorded 24/7. Now, all the other girls was getting butt wild and drunk. None of them went to the bathroom, the shower, to the bedroom. Okay, so, like, girl, be for real. What it was like, you had a good time and you were ashamed of your good time. Now, these girls are innocent. Like I said, this is their first time breaking in, showing, like, stripping themselves. Excuse me, y'all. This was so good. I just liked it. I just couldn't imagine me being 18 years old getting that opportunity of a lifetime like that. But yes. So, but yeah, so, like, they gotta, anyway, so you got this opportunity, so you get to really be yourself. So your true colors came out on national TV. That was what you were ashamed of. Because I could see that. Like, it was my first time getting to be myself, getting away from home, getting away from my old life, shedding my skin like a snake. Shedding my old skin, like, getting to finally get out my shell and be my damn self, unapologetically. See, now reality TV has evolved, so everybody's unapologetically themselves. That was when reality TV first started. So people didn't understand that concept. They couldn't, they didn't embrace it like they embrace it now. And then again, these girls were innocent. Like they not from towns that have clubs, bars, and restaurants. They not from towns like these. If they were like Bad Girls Club, all them girls was from party cities. All them girls knew how to party. All them girls was already game for a good time. These girls were not like that. They were really innocent for real. But I said all that to say, like, girl, you had a good ass time. I would have been like, yes. On top, model in Milan, Italy, I got me some Milan D. You know, like, you know, that's the opportunity of a lifetime. A lot of bitches cannot say they've been out the country at 18 years old on a Walgreens salary. Like, girl, bye. Anyway, but I get it because she was innocent. But this is what I think what she was so upset. Because she said after that she didn't care about the show no more. She didn't care about her career. She was going to throw her whole career down the drain. All because she had a good time on camera. Like, girl, bye. Anyway. So, but what I think what it was, because her boyfriend, she was concerned about her boyfriend. She kept begging and crying to talk to her boyfriend because she ain't to the next day, she was crying, boo-hoo crying because she realized what she did. And she was all concerned about her boyfriend. And I'm like, girl, he'll understand, like, you had a good time. But then I'm thinking, like, okay, she's 18 years old. She don't have no family. She on a Walgreens salary. And she living with this guy. 9 times out of 10, she's living off of him. So if this show don't work out, she got to go back home to her boyfriend. And if he throw her out, she don't have shit. So I'm thinking this is the root of her sadness. I think, and she was boohoo crying, and she was complaining about how they had to record her phone call after she had to beg and cry to call her boyfriend. Now, she was smart because the show don't air it till after, way after they done and stuff. So I'm like, she should just not said nothing and waited till it came out. And she would have been in the living room with him. And then she could have just lied and said they edited it to make it look like something that was, I don't know. You know, some girls just got game and good liars. I ain't saying I'm one of them, but I'm just saying, like, it wasn't that deep to me. But, you know, like I said, like, when I was 18, I was already on my college girl shit. So, and I'm from a big city, so I already know how that go. You know, one night stands, partying, hanging out with your friend. That shit ain't nothing. But this a girl from a nothing-ass town around nothing-ass people. Like, they don't have no experiences. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this her first time. And then on top of all that, her wild side came out on national TV. So that's what I think it was. But I think the biggest thing was it was her boyfriend, the fact that she lived with her boyfriend. I really do, because she did all that crying, and the boy called her a stupid slut. He said, how could you? At least she was honest with him. But I think the root of that problem was the fact that she had to go back home to that dude. And I think it was because she was living off of that man. I really do believe that, because she would butt hurt after the next day. But for her to make the comment in the because, you know, they bring them back. This was like the grown version of her. She said she was like, after that night, I didn't care about the show. I didn't care about the modeling career. And she was the star. Like, Tyra gave her the spotlight on that show. I really did like how Tyra did that girl. Like, she helped her evolve from the ugly duckling, like, literally, like, not knowing anything, a square nerd, people picking on you, belittling you, your family betraying you. Like, Tyra made that girl the star. So, of course, it was only respectfully she had to do her humiliation ritual, because Tyra was going to open doors for that young lady. And honestly, she initiated her own humiliation ritual. Because, like I say, all the other girls got drunk. Ain't nobody take no man back to the shower or the bedroom. So that was on you. You know, you trying to blame everybody else because you actually enjoyed yourself. You know, when your first time breaking your innocence, like, you feel guilty for having a good time. It's like that. It's a mind game. But I really believe it was just because of that boy. It was because of that boy. That's why she was, like, so sad, because she knew she had to go home to that boy. That's why I was like, I don't remember if Shandy won. I think Shandy did win that season. I don't remember if she won or she was the runner-up, whatever. But Shandy had the spotlight. If she really wanted to take it to the next level, Tyra opened the door for her. She could have went to any agency after that show, because she was, like, the star. Like, Tyra basically gave her a whole freaking platform on that show. But, I said all that to say, and she's a good-looking girl. She was, you know, she was the quote-unquote ideal little rich girl. She was like giving Paris Hilton vibes. That's exactly what she was. She was like a Paris Hilton from a, you know, small town Paris Hilton. And with the right upkeep and stuff, she could pull off a Paris Hilton. Like, she could really be a con artist and get a rich ass old man, because she had the look. She was skinny and blonde and tall and long. Like, she definitely gave Paris Hilton vibes. But I said all that to say is, like, they was all mad, and she was like, you know, she was willing to throw away her whole career off of one bad experience, which was not a bad experience. It was a good ass time. She let a man basically dictate how she saw her opportunity. Queen ENT, Trendy Senora, Big Mama, okay, superior madam. But that's when you get in, when you're breaking into this industry. I'm gonna tell you, ladies, like, love, you need to get rid of love. That was the key takeaway from that. Basically, that love charade. If you're serious about your craft, you seriously want to do this, you seriously want to get in this game, you got to let that love go. And I was upset that she let that one thing dictate her whole motion. Like, she didn't see the bigger picture. Now, I know she's young, immature, and naive, right? So she don't know no better. But and then also, this your first time in the industry, and you realizing how cutthroat the industry is. Because I know I was like that. I was like, my cutthroat, but you know, like I said, I'm from a city that's already like rich, like Hollywood. So when I went through my humiliation ritual in this cutthroat ass city, my reaction was more, it wasn't more regret, because I always knew, I said, you know, I'm gonna beat somebody someday. I always said, like, you know, I'm gonna have to leave my kids. That's what I said. I said, I'm gonna have to leave my kids behind and just start my whole life over. And I kept saying that, and then it happened in my humiliation ritual or whatever. My kids got taken or whatever. So when it happened, I thought like that. I was thinking like, damn, remember you said all that? But what happened, what made me so upset was, I'm like, well, I'm not getting anywhere. I don't sacrifice my children. And I ain't getting none of the stuff that I wanted to do, because I said the whole purpose of me wanting to sacrifice my children was so I could travel, so I could be the star, so I could be the celebrity, so I could do the stuff that I need to do. But when that stuff wasn't happening, I felt like, damn, I was betrayed, like I was tricked. I feel like this is a scam, you know? That's why I was upset. But, you know, it wasn't more so the cutthroat shit they were doing. They were doing some evil shit. But I was just more upset, like, damn, if I'm going to have to go through these rituals, I should have some shit to show for it. I ain't got shit to show for this. Like, I was mad. I said, I thought as soon as I sacrifice somebody, I get to go be around the people in the groups. I get to be in the lifestyle. I get to travel. I get to run rapper, you know, party and shit. Like, network, sleep around. Like, I really was thinking like this. I said, I was supposed to get the perks. What the fuck? Y'all don't sacrifice me, humiliated me, did all this shit, and I ain't got a goddamn thing to show for it. What the hell? I was so mad. That was what I was pissed off about. Like, I wasn't crying like, oh, I want to throw away my whole life, my career, because they did this. I was upset because I wanted to start my whole life and my career. I said, if I'm going to sacrifice somebody, I better have some shit to show for it, you know? But anyway, I said all that to say, though, she wasn't prepared for it, and I just didn't like her mindset, because if she really wanted to be a model, she really wanted to change her life. She really didn't want to go back to Walgreens like she said she did. Like, her goal was not to work at Walgreens. That one obstacle shouldn't have changed how her whole projection on her whole modeling career. And I believe that love spell will deter you from your goals. So ladies, when you in this industry, you gotta let that go. All you can take is you. That's what the whole purpose of them sacrificial offerings be. You got to sacrifice your family. You got to sacrifice everything you love. You got to sacrifice. It's a sacrificial offering to be in this industry, because you sacrificing yourself to be available to your audience, basically. So you belong to your audience. Your audience is your family now. You don't have family. You have your audience, and that's who owns you now. And that's how that game works. Free game. Trendy Senora. So I'm gonna do another cause y'all know it's gonna take me time to do all these, but I'm gonna separate this. So this gonna be part 1 of my America's Next Top Model review, and then I'm gonna do a second one, y'all. I'm gonna do a second one for y'all today, for Kenya. I'm gonna tell y'all Kenya's story. Now, y'all don't jump down my throat like, damn, you co-signing for Shandy. You should have told Kenya first. Now, I don't discriminate. I don't discriminate. I love Kenya's story, though, but I'm going to go in depth with Kenya's story. Because I felt Kenya. I felt Kenya, and then there was another girl on there. I forgot what her name was, the girl with the gap. But I'm gonna do like break this up, okay, and make this a little series. Now, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But y'all see my little twist or whatever. You see how pretty they is? Like, just shake and go. So that way when I'm not wearing my wig, I just have my little cute twist. And then I got, it looked like almost like a pixie cut with my natural twist. That's what it looked like when it's finished. I'm gonna show y'all like when it's finally finished. But I'm gonna do the rest of it on here while I do the other stories. But like do the other review. But that's what it comes out like, a pixie cut. That's what it ends up being, a little pixie cut with my little twist. It's really cute. But yeah, so just little hacks and stuff. If you that type of girly, like you just want to be natural, you want your hair and your scalp to breathe, these little hacks you can do for under your wig. Now if your man, like, if some men don't like natural women, to each his own, it's your preference. Like I said, whoever my man is, my superhero gonna be, if he want his preference, he gonna have the money to pay for his preference. That's all I got to say. So like I say, a sew in. A sew in. A sew in, okay? All right, Queen Auntie, y'all subscribe, like, comment. I'm gonna break this up and put this in shorts too. But yeah, follow me, like, subscribe. More content coming soon.